In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Word is sound, sound is vibration, vibration is energy. Therefore, in the beginning was the energy, and the energy was with God, and the energy was God. Listen to the definitions of God and the definitions of energy. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. God is neither created nor destroyed. Energy is everywhere. God is everywhere. Energy is in everything. God is in everything. Everything that is of energy. Everything that is of God. There is no schism between science and religion. They're both saying the same thing, but they're just doing or saying it with different words. In religion, the word is God. In science, the word is energy, but the definitions of God and energy are absolutely identical. And that opening verse of St. John's Gospel, the Bible, makes it very clear that God is energy, if you translate it into scientific language. So anyone who believes the Bible is the Word of God is bound to believe that God is energy. And therefore, is God the creator of the universe? Well, no, because the universe of energy is God. Is the universe the mind of God? No. God is the mind of the universe, the intelligence underlying the universe. And the main thing about God that we understand about God is intelligence. And therefore, what we can learn from this is that energy is basically intelligent. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about now, is how we form a universe out of energy. How we form a universe out of God. The greatest mystery in physics is how mass is formed out of energy. E equals mc squared. And this mystery was solved by the mystics thousands of years ago. What they did is they used their city powers to shrink their consciousness commensurate with the atom. They actually probed the atom with their minds. What they discovered is that the atom has a lot in common with Tony Blair. There's nothing in there but spin. They saw that atoms contain whirlpools of energy, and the vortex is the key to understanding how mass is formed out of energy. The idea is that the energy spins, but because it's free to spin on infinite axes, it does so, and you end up with a ball of spin, very much like the ball of wool. So, the vortex atom is subatomic particles are basically energy hurricanes. So what we're seeing in here is that the electrons, the protons and the neutrons are three-dimensional vortices. They're three-dimensional spirals of energy, like balls of wool, whirlpools of energy. Now, energy is neither created nor destroyed, so there's no end to the energy. So where does the vortex end? Well, it doesn't. It can't. It simply extends into infinity. It just gets thinner and thinner and thinner. So The infinite extension of the vortex explains a lot of mysteries in physics. For example, action at a distance, force fields, why one particle can act on another, is explained by the vortex. Here you have these two overlapping vortices, and they create positive and negative charge. The opposite direction of charge is either the energies going into the centre or expanding out of the centre. And in my book here, The New Physics of Consciousness, and also in the amazing inventions and crazy adventures of Dr. Ash and Sons, I explain all this physics in much more detail. And I explain how electric charge, magnetism and gravity are created by the vortex. So this is the flower of life symbol of drawn below Melchizedek, and it shows how the interlacing vortices explain all the properties and forces of nature. In his opinion, it's the most important symbol in the world. So, mass is the vortex energy we perceive, and the vortex energy extending into infinity is space. So everyone is surrounded by their own bubble of space. Okay? And as you see from this picture with the ants, you've got space foam. So in this room, there's more space in the room because we're all in here, more space and time. When we leave the room, there's actually less space because we're all bringing space with us. The space is thicker. And again, you can explain Einstein's general and special theories of relativity very, very easily with this quantum theory for space, this bubble theory for space. So all the mysteries in physics are resolved by this simple model. So you've got your own bubble of space which extends from you into infinity. So your thoughts and your actions impact the whole universe. So we're all interacting, overlapping with each other. We think we're separated, but we're not. We're all connected. No man is an island. So it's a very, very powerful model, this, in terms of our understanding of the connectedness of humanity. So here you are, mass, nuclear energy, space-time, gravity, and electric charge are all a consequence of the vortex of energy. So is the vortex of energy the unified field that Einstein was searching for, even to his deathbed? Well, a theory is a good theory if you can satisfy two things. One is you must explain the most things with the minimum assumptions. Okay? And the other thing is you've got to predict the outcome of a future experiment. This is called the scientific method. Any theory that can do that is not a hypothesis, it's a full-blown scientific theory and deserves to be taken seriously. Well, with the vortex, we can explain the whole of physics with a single principle. Matter, antimatter, electric charge, magnetism, gravity, space-time, all fit into this model. And using this model, in 1995, I published in another book, one of my earlier books, that the further the galaxies are from us, the faster they're accelerating from us. That conclusion comes out of the cosmology of this physics. And in 1998, that was discovered to be so. So in other words, I was able to predict the outcome of a future experiment or discovery in astronomy through this physics. So this is a solid physics. We have our own physics. Now look at the consequences of this physics. First of all, how many of you in here are university-trained physicists? Anyone here? Any of you PhDs, anything like that? Okay. So was that hard? How many of you found it impossible to understand that physics? Okay. I mean, it's so simple, everybody can understand it. And this is what Stephen Hawking says. If we do discover the complete theory, it should in time be understandable by everyone, not just a few scientists. Then we should be able to take part in the discussion of why it is that we in the universe exist. If we find the answer to that, it would be the ultimate triumph of human reason, for then we would know the mind of God. Well, at the beginning of this talk, I said energy and God, there is no separation, they're one and the same thing. So by understanding energy, we understand the mind of God, because that's what energy is. And that's why science is so important. We're going to see science take over from religion in this new millennium. as the way of understanding ourselves. Because you see, what's happened in the past is we've had the wrong